What's going on, everyone? So Rui Hachimura has left the Olympics, not playing with Japan anymore because of a calf injury. We don't know exactly the details. We don't know if just strain. Did he tear something? Is it just like, did he tweak it? Like, we don't know the details and the extent of the injury, just that he suffered an injury. Now, this isn't good for Rui Hachimura, for one, for the Lakers, for two, and even the trade front. But on the surface, right, like hopefully it's not a significant injury, because some of those calf injuries, depending on the severity, can really linger and can really kind of carry over for months at times. Last thing we need is Rui Hachimura kind of hobbled all season and just kind of dealing with, a stressed calf and having to miss games periodically, or he's just not able to play to the full potential that Rui Hachimura is capable of playing. And it's unfortunate for him, too, in Japan, right? I mean, he was killing it in Japan, doing an excellent job out there. He was efficient, scoring and averaging at 22 a game, right? Like, he was looking very good for Japan. Now, obviously, again, it's the Olympics, right? Some of the matchups, some of the teams, the shot attempts, like there's a lot of factors that go into it, but still, he was doing very good, and there was a lot of hope promised and just excitement centered around Rui Hachimura going into this upcoming season, right? He had an excellent season for the Lakers last year. Playoffs were disappointing, like without a doubt. That was very disappointing from him, but he also was slotted out of position all season, right? Where he's best as a 4 rather than the position which he was playing for pretty much all year, which was the 3. But even with that, he still had himself quite a season, and it was good to see the growth and the progress and, the hopefully continued progress to kind of take another step for the Lakers next year. But this also hurts in regards to the trade front, right? Because based on reports, the Lakers players have kind of been looked at as like a neutral to negative value, right? D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, all the guys that the Lakers are trying to flip. The kind of argument with Rui was that, like, hey, he's a very good player, slotting at the 4. He's coming off of an incredibly efficient season, particularly from 3. And then you look at him in the Olympics, and it's like, see, like, look at the potential that you have. He's still young enough to, be a piece in the right move. Like if you trade with the Portland Trailblazers team, he could easily slot in as the 4. Or Brooklyn Nets is another team that comes to mind, that they don't really have that big physical lower center of gravity type forward that Rui would provide, right? So you kind of just go through the motions with the various trade partners, and Rui does make sense for several of these teams. He's an actual productive player that can come in and actually have an impact on the roster. I do think that if slotted in the proper role and given the proper opportunities, I do think he's a guy that gets you 20 plus easily. I mean, he gave you 14 last season on 10 attempts, right? Like, to think that, if he wasn't to 15 attempts, that he wouldn't have given you 20 is silly. He absolutely would have. So, teams, I'm sure that there are teams that are out there that, you play the part of like, Rui's not that great, but really deep down they're like, man, Rui would be fantastic for this team, for this roster, right? You never want to sell your hand, but this impacts any potential trades, because now it's like, okay, well, is he healthy? Is he good? Like, we're trading you a healthy guy for a non-healthy guy, right? Now that may factor in. A team like Portland might go, hey, he could deal with that all season, and that could be a problem. Well, now, we were willing to take 1 first. Well, now you're going to have to give us a little more. And it hinders potential negotiations working it out. Unless it is just like a little minor injury, right? Like if it's just something where he just kind of tightness or something, and he didn't want to risk it for the season, and Japan isn't winning anything, so he's kind of like, let me get back home, let me get back to prepping and preparing for the upcoming NBA season. Like, we're not winning a medal this year. Why am I going to hurt myself when, I have a potential to win an NBA championship, right? Like that could be the logic, that could be the thinking, and that's the problem. Like with the news and reports of this, is like we don't have all the details and information. We don't know one way or the other if it's just nothing to really worry about, nothing really to write home about? Or is it something that's like, oh no, no, this could be a persistent, lingering problem? And then besides the trade front, I mean, this just hurts the Lakers if it is something significant, right? Because the Lakers don't trade him and keep him, he's probably going to be a big part of the season for the Lakers, whether he starts or comes off the bench. And, I think JJ Redick is going to utilize him better than Darvin Ham did. I think JJ Redick will put him in position to succeed and have success. Him working out and continuing to improve alongside LeBron James and just kind of like what LeBron's been able to do to help him in his game. You kind of look at all these factors and it's like, like Rui, if we don't trade him, may end up being, he already was, one of our 5 best players on the roster, right? Can he take that step? Can he take that stride? Right? Does JJ Redick look at him as like, hey man, he might be our, 4th best player, right? Like we need to get him more opportunities. And he's also good for the Lakers, particularly if LeBron misses a game. Right, you can always slide Rui. And Rui's best at the 4, and he's had career nights when he's been on the Lakers slotted at the 4 in place of LeBron. So this is a guy that has value for the Lakers. Right? Even if he doesn't have value for other teams, he has a lot of value for the Lakers, and he's a key piece that the Lakers really need to be the best version possible. So it's. Again, it could be nothing. Could be as simple as just like, hey, it's just, just strain. He doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to risk further injury or something. If Japan was in a better spot, like if Japan was like, undefeated thus far in group stage or something, would Rui still be playing? Right? That's the question that I have. Because it's like when he might, like I mentioned earlier, you might be looking at it as like, no, I stick around, I could play, and then I end up hurting myself for what? I'm not placing in a medal, and, so I might as well just do what's best for me. It was fun, it was an experience. Let me go get right, let me go get healthy, and let me go get ready. But also, it begs concern for just Rui, period, right? He's had some injury issues over the years. Even last year he had some injury woes. So, last thing we need is him in and out of the lineup all season. Last thing the Lakers need is him, dealing with a nagging or persistent injury all season, right? So hopefully this is just a little minor setback, nothing major. It's just, little strain or something. He'll be good. Still got like 2 months before training camp or whatever, a month and a half before training camp. So, there's time for him to go home, rest up, heal, right? You got good reps, good workouts, good, playing competitive basketball and playing it at a high level. I think it bodes well for Rui. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you have concerns about this news? Or are you kind of like, no, it's okay. It'll be fine. Be all right. Do you kind of feel like, kind of tough because we don't know the details? We don't know if it's significant. We don't know if it's minor. We don't really know how severe. All these things are just, it makes it tough because it's hard to really gauge. Do you think that this could impact the trade front? Do you think this impacts any potential trades that the Lakers could potentially make evolving around Rui Hachimura? Or do you kind of look at it as like, like if teams, because if the reports are true and teams aren't really looking at Rui as a positive asset, right? Well then, no matter what happens, it's probably not going to make a huge significance. But obviously, trading a player that can play is a lot better than trading a player that, is going to miss 4 months of the season or something like that. Which, again, I'm not saying that that's going to happen to Rui, but it's definitely something that the Lakers and whatever team he ends up on, if he ends up on another team, are really going to have to monitor. They have to keep an eye on and just make sure that, okay, Rui's good. He's fine, right? I'm sure he's going to go back. He's going to rest for a couple weeks or whatever. And I'm sure he'll go get tested, get a physical in, and kind of make sure, go through some stress tests on the calf and stuff. But more than anything, hopefully we get some actual information in that regard. I'd like to know, is he is it something bad, or is it just like, oh, no, it's just a little minor, no big deal. A little just, like I said, maybe he pulled it or strained it, and he'll be fine. We'll see. Time will tell. But again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me nuts. We enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.